All come. To make it a little quicker, let's have 2 lines. Then the next point is that when you make the offering of light, think of the purpose. It is symbolic of offering the light of the wisdom. We all suffer. Everyone is suffering, all because of the ignorance. This is reality. And depending on what layer of ignorance, then people suffer. And then some of them, they suffer, number one, because of the immediate ignorance. Sometimes ignorance since many lifetimes ago, they pass ignorance. So it's because of this that people are suffering. And as a counter force, I mean, the remedy to overcome this ignorance is the wisdom is the only answer. So offering the light of the wisdom, and imagine that you're offering the light of wisdom on behalf of all the sentient beings. Not only for yourself, not only for your family, including your family, and particularly the people who you find as difficult. These people, they're suffering terribly. Everybody's suffering. So let's include all of them in this offering of the light and the light of the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, please come.
To shine the light, Dharma, unveiled. Yeah, this direction and from outside. Shine the light from Dharma. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. From the back side, please. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. Folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in mystery's gloom. Hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all direction to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in mystery's gloom.
Okay, for the morning practice, this book is invariably required, and also that the morning practice also involves meditation. And I know that some people are more interested in meditation, and those people who did not turn up today, and if you know them, just let them know that it also involves meditation. And so this is where I see that many people are interested doing the meditation, different forms of meditation. And it's so important that we need to know what are the potential, say, the complications which can arise in the process of meditation, and how to solve these problems. So when you actually do the meditation, then you will come across the challenges, and these we need to learn how to overcome. Okay. Today, since that we don't have much time, we're going to do the shorter form. So for this, and in the morning, what we are reading from here are the explanations. They're oftentimes very much related to what we are studying in the main class. So at times I'll also explain what these things are. Okay, so with this in mind, setting a proper motivation, which involves three things. One is refuge field, number two, bodhicitta field, number three, the purpose of this practice. Refuge field, bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. Refuge means to seek inspirations. To seek inspirations, we call it blessings. But the blessings let us not be naive to think blessing means that you just ask them, please bless me, and then that suddenly some changes happen to you. Don't expect that. It never happens. Okay, so therefore, I'm going to use the word blessing too much because people can actually take it in the wrong way. Blessing, in the real sense, blessing means to bring about transformation, where in a manner these enlightened beings' the minds are, your mind is transformed in that direction. How to go into this direction is like look at them as your role model. Look at them as role model, and then you put effort because you see how it should be like. Then you put effort accordingly. This is the meaning of the blessings. Okay. First verse. This is written by Arya Nagarjuna, page 3. The first verse is from Arya Nagarjuna's, the same author, and his main text, the main text that he composed. The masterpiece is known as the Mula Madhyamika Karika, the fundamental wisdom of the middle way. And this verse is a verse of salutation in that text. So where the Buddha, where Arya Nagarjuna and they praised the Buddha or was seeking the blessings of the Buddha by seeing the Buddha as a source of inspiration pertaining to the wisdom and pertaining to the compassion, the two things. For us, somebody who is extremely, say, the intelligent, but if the compassion is lacking, can go in one direction but not see the whole world or the whole beautiful reality. Whereas if somebody is very compassionate but without a wisdom, again, it's like a bird with one wing. So both wings are the required, indispensable for somebody for this bird to fly. Likewise, we need the two wings, the wing of the wisdom and the wing of the compassion. Both are required for us to fly, to cross the ocean of miseries and get to the state of fearlessness and infinite happiness. So it says, enthused by great compassion. This is the first quality, the wing of the compassion, the wing of the bodhicitta. You taught the immaculate dharma. You taught the wisdom. The dharma here is the wisdom. You taught the immaculate dharma. So we have two things. For what? To remove all our mental defilements, to dispel all perverted views, the wrong thoughts within our mind. And who did that? The Buddha Shakyamuni in the history of humanity 2,500 years ago. This is what he did. So I pay homage. This is meaning. Okay, let's say this 3 times together. Okay, first, and I'm a little digress too much. Refuge field. We visualize all these enlightened beings, such as the Buddha and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and all the source of inspirations from your own religion. You just think of them. And for the Bodhicitta field, and you will know what Bodhicitta is also in the course of this. And also you can ask during the group discussions to the seniors. Bodhicitta is the desire to become awakened to benefit all other beings. So, for the Bodhicitta field, you visualize your two parents. Some of you might have difficulty with your parents. It doesn't matter. So, the fact that we feel difficulty with the parents is the indication that we are ordinary beings. So, we learn how to transcend being ordinary. Being ordinary is the reason why we suffer. Why should we be ordinary? We can transcend being ordinary. We can be transcendental. So that is what we they attempt for us to transcend the ordinary state. So deliberately bring your two parents and your children, all of family members, and everyone, human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, god and goddesses, spirits, everyone around you, everybody's suffering. So to help them to get out of this problem, visualize them and imagine that you are so loving and caring to each one of them. This is what we can do. And then the purpose of this practice, so as you already learned yesterday, the purpose of practice is to awaken your true nature. Awaken your true nature, which is extremely pure and which is totally which is in a state of total fearlessness and the infinite happiness. And this is what we should be doing to activate this seed of the true nature of your own mind. This is our purpose. By removing the mental dirt. Remove the mental dirt by activating wisdom and by activating the compassion. Okay, with this mind, imagine that you are leading this recitation and all beings are joining you. And all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are watching us. And this by great compassion, you taught the immaculate dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And this by great compassion, you taught the immaculate dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And this by great compassion, you taught the immaculate dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Okay, next. Some of the passages are extremely precious, yet little technical. What is technical? I will leave the technical meaning, which can be explained only when you are introduced to emptiness. So some of them are self-explanatory. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. The next verse is extremely precious, but the meanings will come to us only after understanding emptiness. Okay, we'll read this. Independent origination, there is no ceasing nor rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, who through the knowledge of all these hearers seeking pacification, complete peace, who through the knowledge of paths, courses, helping migrants to achieve the aims of the world, and who through the possession of omniscience helps subdue and expand a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The teachers who gather and protect her, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I chant the mantra of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, this mantra I'm going to quickly explain to you in this class and also in the main class. This is very important, essence of dependent origin mantra. The Om is what I already explained yesterday. Yes, Om. Yes. Ye Dharma, these phenomena, the phenomena of suffering, the phenomena of happiness, all experiences of the what you dislike, what you like, they don't arise randomly. They arise from the respective causes. Ye Dharma, Hetu Prabhava. Hetu is a cause. By the way, this is Sanskrit. And the Pali version is very similar. Pali and Sanskrit is only the words may differ slightly. Hetu is cause, Prabhava is arise. These phenomena of what? Of suffering and happiness, they arise from the causes. Hetum desham tathagato hyavatat. Hetum, the plural form of the cause. The causes, desham, these causes, tathagato. Tathagato, the one who has gone to the ultimate, the one who has gone to the thusness, the one who has gone to the ultimate, meaning referring to the Buddhas. Buddha doesn't mean the Buddha Shakyamuni. Buddha Shakyamuni is one of them. When you become a Buddha, when your the true nature of mind becomes manifest, you become a Buddha. So there are so innumerable Buddhas that happened in the world, even in the history of the humanity, in India, in China, in Tibet. So many became Buddhas with the practice as taught by the Buddha Shakyamuni. So, Hetum Desham Tathagato, these causes, Hetum causes, Desham, these, Tathagato, the Buddha, have that taught. What these causes of miseries are is taught by the Tathagata, by the Buddha. Tesham Jayo Nirodha. Tesham, these, Jayo, whatever of these causes is implied, whatever of these causes, Nirodha, cessation, stopping, bringing to an end of these causes, whatever of these causes, evam, thus, vadi, again, taught by Mahashramana, the great saint meaning the Buddhas. All the Buddhas who appeared in the past, they all taught the same thing, how the miseries arise and how to stop these miseries, how to stop the cause of miseries. These are taught by the Mahashramana. Yeswaha is, this is established. This is the reality. Okay, so with this in mind, let us recite these 3 times together. And it'll be very good knowing this meaning, and you see that the whole life somehow revolves around these. And to lead a wise life, meaningful life, revolves around the understanding and application of your life in the direction as indicated in this mantra. So this, if you can do it, then when you fly in an aeroplane from the top down, you will see millions, all these tiny lights. There are people there, and under the sea, there are trillions of creatures there. And you pray for them, you recite this mantra, tell them, it's all because of the ignorance. People not knowing what are the causes of suffering. People not knowing how to stop the cause of the suffering, they continue to suffer. Not only people, even the animals, insects, everyone is suffering because of failure to know the meaning of this mantra. So, you know this mantra, just recite this for them mentally. When you're alone, you can verbally recite this for them. And just talk to them, mental talk to them. Take this teaching of the Buddha, take this teaching of the wisdom, and bring about change within you. Identify what the cause of suffering. Apply these remedies to get rid of these causes of the suffering, and your suffering will stop. This is what you talk to them mentally, to all the millions and trillions of the beings, human beings, non-human beings. You talk to all of them and share this teaching of the enlightened being towards all the beings. This will be great. And then, if you do this, when you practice other side, the compassion, which needs to be particularly cultivated separately. So there is very strange. For the empty wisdom of emptiness, it requires a lot of studies. It's not just 1 week workshop. It requires a lot of studies, and gradually the wisdom dawns in you. For the bodhicitta, the compassion part, it does not require extensive studies. If you have extensive studies, well and good. If not, you will know what it is within a very short span of time. But to activate this experience will take time. To activate this experience, it requires a lot of effort and a lot of conducive factors intact. So, this thing, thinking about all the beings, sharing these, whatever you have, sharing with all the beings, sharing this wisdom to all the beings. These are the great factors for you to quickly experience this beautiful mind of the bodhicitta. Okay, let's say these 3 terms together. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. The meaning of the mantra in the next verse. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-light and non-composite. Such is the nectar that Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to the words. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. Is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas, or 3 times, I be obeisance. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dhamma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is also everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until an end with the expense of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay. Praise to Buddha Shakyamuni, page 14. Okay, as we read this Praise to Buddha Shakyamuni, just see that okay, if somebody can close those curtains, because they have this light directly falling on their faces. You good? This one, no need. This one, no need. This side, light comes from this side, sun. Okay. As we recite this praise to Shakyamuni Buddha, it is not like that we praise to Buddha and Buddha will be very happy and bless us. This is not the idea. Idea is that we identify the qualities which this young Prince Siddhartha attained. What are the qualities that he attained, which made people to revere him? What are the qualities? That's important. Likewise, see if you have some of these qualities within you. If you do have some of these qualities, rejoice. This is not arrogance. Rejoice. It's so important. Only by rejoicing in your good qualities, you have the energy to go forward. If you don't rejoice in the qualities or only think bad about yourself, you are left with no energy to go beyond. So rejoice in the good qualities. But it doesn't mean that it should be a factor for you to become egoistic. Right? You must maintain a balance. Always rejoice in the good qualities. Be inspired to engage in these good qualities even more, rather than becoming egoistic and get stuck there. Ego will stop your growth, whereas rejoicing will give you energy to grow further. That is so important. Rejoice. And if you do identify that, okay, these are the qualities with which the Buddha is praised, then I also have some of these qualities. Rejoice in this and be inspired to nurture them further. One. Number two, if you don't have these qualities, but no doubt each one of us has the seeds of these qualities, because that the true nature of mind and the Buddha's brilliant mind, these two are just of the same nature. By no means true nature of your mind. Your mind and your true nature of mind, these two are different. Your mind is defiled, but your true nature of mind is not defiled. So how to make this distinction? This is what we're going to learn over the next few days. The true nature of mind is so pure. Nothing can stop this. For example, like gold, a solid gold, when mixed with mud, the solid gold inside is not tainted. Inside is so pure, but superficially it is obscured by the metal, by the mud. Likewise, the true nature of mind is so pure. Each one of us, we have this true nature of mind, which is so pure. That one and the gold outside and the gold inside, there's no difference. Gold outside, only dirt is removed. Gold inside, the mud is there. The true nature inside, the gold inside, which is more expensive? Gold which is without the mud, with the mud, both 1 kg each. Which is more expensive? Same. There's no difference. So we are like the gold with the mud. So our job is that we all have the seeds of these good qualities with which Buddha has been praised. All these things are within us, and be inspired. Then I also need to cultivate these qualities. And this is what finally we have to grow. And all these are the skillful means to make us grow in the process, not to make somebody else happy. Okay, whether you praise the Buddha or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all to the Buddha. The Buddha continues to shower love and affection to us. And it's not a story, it's not just what I call it, the fairy tales. So you feel this when you cultivate the compassion yourself. This very sophisticated compassion, you start cultivating it, you start feeling it, then you can imagine what the compassion of Buddha is like. So from this you can also infer what the compassion of Jesus Christ is like. One thing, Jesus Christ, reading his biographies, it very inspired me. Oftentimes, this is what inspires me, and the great teachers like Guru Nanak, extremely inspiring. Okay. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the fourth destroyer, completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, Lord of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the complete and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides and then said, I'm supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. Okay, this is interesting. It is said that the Buddha, born, just day when he was born, he took 7 steps. How many years took steps when you're born? Huh? Right, okay. He was born and he took 7 steps. And he proclaimed that the world of miseries, have no fear, I'm there to help you. It's amazing. And you look at his biography, all alone, as a young toddler, as say, adolescent young boy, there's constant display of compassion, and so intelligent, so compassionate. And in fact, Lord Mahavir, also demonstrated similar qualities during his young days, and then later on became such an enlightened being. So these beings. So this is like, when we read it, it may give us a feeling. So like, oh, what is this? I'm supreme in this world. It simply means that have no fear. I'm there. I'm there to help you. We'll all go along towards the awakening of your seed of perfection. Okay, let's read this once more. When, O supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I'm supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Just treated like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incompatible wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of medical qualities like vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. To not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly, this is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See, conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the 4 falls, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the ways of aging, sickness, and death. Okay, let us recite the Heart Sutra Mantra, page 31. Otherwise, from tomorrow we will read the full Heart Sutra. Today we will read the Heart Sutra Mantra. And this, I briefly mentioned this yesterday. Tatyatha is here is thus. Tatyatha, here is thus. Page 31. Page 31. Here is thus. Om Gade Gade is go, go. Paragati, go beyond. Parasangati, go utterly beyond. Bodhi Swaha, establish your enlightenment. Establish the full awakening. Okay. So what is this? Go, go. Is it just randomly said? No. There are 5 repetitions there. Go, go. Go beyond. Go utterly beyond. And establish your full awakening. 5 points indicated there. These 5 paths are the 5 steps by which you attain enlightenment. And these steps we have to study separately. The path of accumulation, part of preparation, part of seeing, part of meditation, part of normal learning. Okay. Seems that the young ones are better. Right? Okay. Churila, Dorjila. Right? Wow. Okay, congratulations. Very inspiring. Okay. And this is actually what was taught on the Vulture's Peak. How many of you have been there? Raise hands. Vulture's Peak. Vulture's Peak in Rajgir, Varanti, Bodh Gaya, close by Bodh Gaya. Raise hands. Okay, raise hands. Full, not just half. Full. Okay. So how that Rajgir, that place is where the Buddha taught so many teachings. It's not only Heart Sutra. So many teachings were taught there. And in future, if you ever happen to go there, and just for information, and the Root Institute in Bodh Gaya, we are doing the retreat in November. I don't know, about like 10 days. We're doing this retreat in November. And of course, if you are interested, we can this happening there. And then at that time, we also go to the Rajgir, the place where the Buddha taught this. We go there, we recite the Heart Sutra, we take the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, we all do these things there, and also we go to Nalanda, the erstwhile Nalanda Monastery University, where all these brilliant thoughts were developed. All the wisdoms were being taught by Nagarjuna there. Okay. Deyata Om Gade Gade Paragate Parasam Gade Bodhisvaha Deyata Om Gade Gade Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. Okay, we will read the 8 verses of Mind Training, page 35. 8 verses of Mind Training. The 8 verses of Mind Training, the purpose for us reading this is the Heart Sutra is for the wisdom side, and the 2 wings. Heart Sutra is the wisdom side, and the 8 verses for Mind Training is the compassion side, or the Bodhicitta side. And the Bodhicitta is the unconditional love, which wishes to become enlightened, for you to become enlightened, to benefit all the other beings. For that, I'm sure you'll agree with me that this mind has the nature to embrace everybody, leaving none aside. So what is the counterforce of this? Counterforce of this is anger and the ego. Anger and ego, they push push others away from you. So 8 verse 1 training is primarily to counteract our ego, counteract our the anger. And when the ego is subdued, that is one thing which is very similar to ego, but to be encouraged. That is self-confidence. So self-confidence and ego, these two are very similar in nature. Oftentimes, when we are not developed, when we are not matured, when we become more self-confident, our ego also gets boosted. And when we deliberately put effort to subdue our ego, our self-confidence also goes down. So one time what happened was that there was one gentleman who comes to the Tibet classes and who otherwise is not very egoistic, who's extremely confident person, very, very self-confident. He has a great degree of self-confidence. And then attending the Tibet classes continuously, he said that, Geshe, what happened to me? Now, I lost my self-confidence. Earlier, I used to be very self-confident and where I dare to do anything, I dare to meet anybody. Now, after attending all these classes, continued for about a year, said that I become like a very tender person, very soft, tender person, where I do not dare to do things which otherwise I would readily do it, very easy to do it. What happened? So this is where, in a way, is a great degree of maturation happening. The progress is happening, but in the process, when we are in the beginner level, what happens is as you tone down the ego, your self-confidence also goes down. As you become more matured, more progress, the mark of your progress is that as your ego goes down, your self-confidence goes up. You have absolute self-confidence with zero ego. When you see these people, you'll be very much inspired. So the one thing is that you just feel like going close to this person, spend as much time with that person. This is indication that the person doesn't have ego. And the fact that you feel so secure is that the person is so self-confident. So these two things are to be cultivated, where the self-confidence is boosted, ego is subdued. And if you see the huge gap between the two within yourself, where self-confidence is so high and the ego is so down, that's a mark of your evolution. That's a mark of your maturation in the spiritual path. Okay. Page 35. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear to all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have held or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard them still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, the word of clinging be released from bondage. And the next verse is deliberately added to let the people understand that all this what we said is not just not to let your self-confidence go down, always giving victory to others, taking the defeat on yourself, then you feel so low. This is not the point. It's to defeat the ego, not to defeat your self-confidence. So the next verse, taken from Lama Tsongkhapa's praise. From there you see that there's a tremendous self-confidence there, that I will become Buddha to benefit all the beings, that I will become awakened, that I will take the responsibility of all the beings. Okay. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eyes blinded by ignorance. Okay, next we will read the mandala offering, page 4. Okay, that we'll do tomorrow. We'll read page 42, the foundation of all good qualities. Foundation of all good qualities. This is the roadmap. If you want to awaken the seed of perfection within you, you want to awaken the seed of perfection, you need a blueprint, the blueprint or the roadmap to this journey. So this is the whole roadmap, how we should conduct ourselves, how we should cultivate ourselves, so that the Buddha energy inside, the seed of perfection within you, becomes more and more manifest. The mental defilements are removed more and more. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After that, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of the virtuous and non-virtuous karma follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great question arise, the root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so fall mother migratory beings. Please bless me to receive this twin in supreme bodhicitta and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even I've developed bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of karma abiding expression inside. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the 2 stages, essence Vajrayana, the practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who showed the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages of the paths, by quickly attain the state of Vajratara. Okay, so next, the Mixama mantra will be recited. This I'm going to give a quick background of this. This is the verse of praise, which Lama Tsongkhapa, those of us who want to go deeper into the wisdom of emptiness, you will become familiar with this author, the great teacher, enlightened being, Lama Tsongkhapa. And when he was a student, when he was young with his teacher, he composed this praise to his teacher. And seeing the teacher in the light of 3 perfect qualities of the Buddhas: perfect knowledge, perfect love, and the perfect power. And the perfect knowledge, they manifested in the form of Arimanjushri here. Arimanjushri, the statue here is the statue of Arimanjushri, the Buddha of the wisdom. And the perfection of the compassion is manifested in the form of Aravalokiteshvara. Aravalokiteshvara, many of you are already aware of the Avalokiteshvara, depicted with 4 arms, depicted with 1,000 arms, depicted with 2 arms. The 1,000 arm means reaching out to infinite number of beings with so much of arms to benefit the beings, to help the beings out of compassion. Then the third one is the Buddha of power, which is Vajrapani. The depicting his guru in the light of these 3, the perfect beings. And the guru read the praise. He read this praise and he erased his name, his own name. He erased that and replaced it with his student's name, and said that this praise fits better with you instead of me. And then it becomes so blessed, and everyone, the bad people sing this. They praise the eulogy to Lama Tsongkhapa. Okay, the Lama Tsongkhapa, who you're going to come to learn about, who we have to refer to the composition so often, particularly pertaining to the wisdom of emptiness. And then later on, if you really want to go into extremely professionally into, say, bodhicitta, professionally into the Tantra, very sophisticated version of the Tantra, then his commentaries, they're extremely refined, meticulously done. So that is who the author is, this great teacher. We'll say this together. And some of us, we know how to sing, so listen to us and then join us. Let's say this 3 times together. First we'll read the English, and then the Tibetan we sing. When we sing the Tibetan, we skip the 3rd line just to accommodate the tune, the melody. And not for any other reason. Otherwise, when you recite it, you can recite it all 5 lines. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, Lobsang Tapa, at your feet I make prostrations. Lo sa ta be cha la so va de le me ze te je re se te me ke be Om Bo Jan De Yang Khan Jen Ke Be Zu Ye Zong Ka Ba Lo Sa Ta Be Sha La So Va De Le me ze ve te je re se te me ke me om bo jan me yang kan je ke be zu ye zong ka ba lo sa ta be sha la so va de. Okay, generally in the mode of consummate yoga, since that we don't have much time, first we'll do the short meditation. Tomorrow we need this yeah. Okay, short meditation. So this I'd like to give a quick instruction on this. And I know that many of you do your own meditation. That's fine. Just see what you're doing and what I'm explaining here. If these two tally, should you see some discrepancy there, and then they just see how to address this. This is very important. Okay. So meditation, there are two kinds. One is single-pointed meditation, and the other one is analytical meditation. Both are required. What actually transforms the individual is the analytical meditation. But this analytical meditation must be supported by this single-pointed meditation. Only then it becomes very powerful. So for that matter, we need to first do these two things separately, cultivate these two skills separately, and eventually merge the two together. And like the meditation on emptiness, meditation on bodhicitta, these all fall under the category of the analytical meditation. And they say, just what you do now, single point meditation, this all falls under what is called as the single point meditation or the calm abiding meditation. Example is very simple. Finally, what we learned yesterday is that we have to, dispel the mental obscuration. Mental obscuration is like the darkness, and this darkness can be eradicated only through light. And the darkness of ignorance can be eradicated only through the light of the wisdom. And this light of the wisdom, just imagine that you want to read the book, and in the night, suddenly there's a power cut. So what do? Let's say, light a candle. And this candle should have two qualities. The flame of the candlelight should have two qualities. One is that it should be extremely bright. If it's not bright, if it's so feeble, it'll strain your eyes. It should be very bright. Not only that is bright, if from the corner of your room, if there is a wind blowing, then the light is going to be very flickering. If the light is flickering, again you cannot read the books. It can strain your eyes. So then light should be very steady. So the light should be very bright, it should be steady. Brightness is the metaphor for the sharpness of your mind. This will come to us only through analytical meditation. And the steadiness of the mind, the wisdom, will come only through a single-pointed meditation. For this, we require a separate and the calm abiding meditation, also known as the shamatha meditation. Shamatha meditation and the analytical meditation, or referred to as the special insight meditation. So what you're doing here is the single-pointed meditation or the shamatha meditation. It has so many versions. It's not that what you're doing here is the correct one and all others are wrong. There's not a connotation. Every tradition, everything is correct. All versions are correct, provided as long as they come from the authentic source. Authentic source, that is very important. Okay. So for this, 4 points to keep in mind. Body posture, focal point, identifying the errors of meditation, and applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, let me say this again. What's the first one? Body posture. Number 2, focal point. What is number 3? Identifying the errors of meditation, remedy to overcome the errors. 4, the body posture. If you are a long-term meditator, sitting cross-legged is extremely helpful. What is cross-legged is, but don't force it. Cross-legged is the left foot on your right leg. If you want to try it. Left foot on your right leg. It can be a little painful for those who are doing this for the first time. And next, followed by the right foot on your left leg. The first one, left foot on your right leg, the first. Then followed by the right foot on your left leg. Okay, if you can do this, well and good. If not, don't force yourself. Or if you can do it just for a few seconds, do it. The moment you start feeling the pain, let go of this and again relax it. Stay in the comfortable position. When the pain is gone, again bring it back. This is how we practice. Okay, this is about the first, the cross-legged position. Then the most important thing, two most important things. The first one is the body upright. This is so important. It's so important. And they say, particularly, if possible, try to make it a habit to always sit like this rather than sitting like this. Right? Sit like this. So once when I was in a school to give a talk to a school boys and girls, like 700 school boys and girls, all young boys and girls, age 12, 13, 14, they all sit like this. They all sit like this. Extremely bad habit. So I told them to sit like this, and they sit like this. After a few minutes, again they back. A habit. Then I think on the third day, then they started to sit like this. Naturally. Beautiful. Okay, this is very important because your body posture, how you sit, and that makes a difference to the channels in the body. When you sit upright, the channels are very straight. When the channels are straight, energy can flow very smoothly. And the energy and the mind, these two are very closely connected. And the mind is the one which meditates. When the mind is very smoothly working, then the meditation is going to be very smooth. If the mind is rough, because the energy which accompanies the mind, when the energy cannot flow so smoothly. Why? Because of the channel not straight, bend. So the energy has to exert. And this channel straight is determined by the bodily posture, sitting upright. And if possible, you can sit in chairs. This is not an issue. Even when you sit in a chair, don't lean against a support. If you have a backache problem, don't force yourself to sit upright like this. Whichever position is comfortable for you, do it that way. Don't force yourself. If you have backache problem, knee problems, don't force yourself. It is not that only by sitting cross-legged you can meditate. Without sitting cross-legged you cannot meditate. This is not true. Even by sitting on the chair with your, without the position of the chair, with your 2 feet down, you can meditate perfectly well. Okay, so your back should not be leaning against the support. It should be upright. Okay, then your head tilted forward a little bit. Then the second most important thing is don't close your eyes. And I have no comment on any tradition who advise you to do a meditation with eyes closed. I have no comment on this, but here, don't do it. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. Okay. We have just another 20 seconds. Okay. Okay. So there's one. Then next is what? Focal point. What are you going to focus on? What's going to be the object of meditation? There are so many, hundreds of such focal points are there. We're going to pick up something very simple yet very effective. That is two things. One, just count your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. One cycle one, again breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 2, this is what we're going to do for 21 cycles. Alongside known as the multitasking. While focusing mind to the count of breath, simultaneously visualize a very tiny white dot. Very tiny white dot like this. Between nose and upper lip. Okay. This is to be visualized, not your eyes should not be looking at it. Should be just the between your nose and upper lip. This is what you should visualize. A tiny white dot there. Visualizing this tiny white, focus your mind on the tiny white dot, plus counting the breath. These two things should happen together. Multitasking. And it will be a little difficult. Two things happen together and your eyes not closed. Your distraction is also happening there. So several things are happening. It's going to be a little challenging, but once you succeed, it's very rewarding. Okay, but after they practice for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if you cannot manage these two things together, somehow you're very confident, then you can let go of any of these two things. Better let go of this white thing. Whichever you feel is more difficult, whichever you feel like to do that and let go of the other. And whereas if you can manage, do both. Okay, that's the focal point. And meanwhile, breathe normally. Don't chase your breath. Don't control your breath. Just let the breath flow normally. Just normal. Okay. Then, of course, your right hand or left hand, two thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place the hands on your lap in a restful state. Okay. So, what's number 3? Errors. Okay. I give you full, give me full. I didn't say errors. I give you full. I expect you to give me full. What did I give you? Identifying the errors of meditation. You're getting it? Okay. Somebody who could remember this errors, even this perfect, very good. But when I give you full, I'll expect you to give me full. Identify the errors of meditation. 2 errors. One is mental scattering, technically referred to as mental excitement, and the other one is mental laxity. Mental laxity and mental excitement. Mental laxity is the inactivity of the mind. Inactivity of the mind. And the mental excitement is the overactivity of the mind. These are the 2 problems. You must maintain a balance. Okay. What is next? Applying the error, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay. So how many remedies are there? 2-fold. So this is a very generic explanation. If somebody is to specialize in meditation, then with your own experience of the various the problems, you need to seek the help of your teacher to go for the more specific remedies. So generally speaking, 2 remedies. One is mindful introspection and the other one is mindfulness. Introspection, mindfulness. Introspection is to just keep an eye on your mind to see if the mind is in a lethargic state, inactive state, or overactive state, or in a flow of the meditation. Just to keep an eye on this. This is known as introspection. Once you put the introspection, you identify that the mind is distracted or in a lax state, then apply the mindfulness. Mindfulness is to bring the mind back to the intended objective of the meditation. Are you ready? Let's just do 21 cycles. Tomorrow. Okay, let's begin. Okay, good. Now we'll do the dedication. Page 52, the short dedication, page 52. Any virtue that we do, that to make sure that the virtue is not wasted, the virtue doesn't go damaged, for whatever reasons, we dedicate it properly. This is a very important aspect of doing it. Okay. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine of scripture and insight. May I in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, the renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect within the 2 stages. From our 2 collections, vast space. From 2 collections here is the collection of wisdom and the collection of compassion, collection of bodhicitta. From our 2 collections, vast space that have amassed from working with effort is practiced for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds with minds blinded by ignorance. Eyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgade Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgade Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata